In the deep reaches of space, the Galactic Confederation's most notorious prison, known as the Void, housed the most dangerous criminals from across the universe. Among its inmates was an alien known as Krell, a member of the fearsome Zarquil species, renowned for their strength and cruelty. Krell had terrorized multiple star systems, and his reputation for brutality was well known even within the harsh confines of the Void. One day, a new prisoner was transferred to the Void, a human named Jack. Humans were rare in galactic incarceration systems, as Earth was considered a death world, a planet with such hostile conditions that its inhabitants were naturally resilient and often extremely dangerous. Most inmates in the Void had heard rumors of Deathworlder's prowess, but had never seen one in person. Jack's arrival didn't go unnoticed. His reputation as a Deathworlder made him an immediate target for those looking to prove their toughness. Krell, eager to assert his dominance in the prison hierarchy, decided that Jack would be an easy mark to re-establish his fearsome reputation. The confrontation happened in the common area, where Krell, surrounded by his usual entourage of thugs, approached Jack. The alien towered over the human, his scales bristling with anticipation of an easy fight. With a sneer, Krell threatened Jack in front of the gathered inmates, promising a swift end to the new prisoner's life. However, Jack remained calm. His time on Earth had prepared him well for handling threats. He looked up at Krell, his expression unreadable. Without a hint of fear, Jack simply nodded and said, "Do what you must." This response took Krell by surprise, his followers quieting down as they awaited their leader's action. Unbeknownst to Krell, Jack had been a special forces operator on Earth, trained to survive and thrive in environments far deadlier than most of the alien worlds known to the Confederation. His unassuming appearance belied his lethal skills and his ability to turn seemingly benign objects into deadly weapons. As Krell moved to strike, Jack used a simple move to leverage Krell's momentum against him, flipping the alien over with a judo throw learned on Earth. The cafeteria erupted into chaos as other prisoners backed away, watching in shock as the formidable Krell landed heavily on the metal floor. Jack stood over Krell, his stance relaxed but ready for more. He looked around at the other inmates, his gaze stern. "Anyone else?" he asked in a tone that was both a challenge and a warning. The silence that followed was answer enough. From that day on, Jack's reputation grew, not just as a formidable fighter, but as someone who commanded respect through strength and restraint. Krell, on the other hand, faced humiliation and a significant drop in his standing among the prisoners. He had underestimated the human, a mistake that cost him dearly both in pride and power. Jack's influence in the Void expanded as he started to mediate disputes among inmates, applying Earth-style diplomacy and fairness that was rare in the galactic criminal system. His actions slowly changed the culture within the Void, showing that respect and cooperation could be more powerful than fear and oppression. Meanwhile, Krell struggled with the fallout of his defeat. He became introspective, realizing that brute strength was not the only path to power. Over time, he approached Jack, asking to learn about the ways of Earth and its inhabitants. This unlikely partnership between former adversaries marked the beginning of a profound change in the Void, leading to reforms in how the prison was managed and how inmates were treated. Their story, spreading beyond the walls of the Void, became a legend in the galactic community. It was a tale of redemption, respect, and the unexpected lessons one could learn from the inhabitants of a death world. Jack and Krell's journey from enemies to reformers was documented in a best-selling holobook, inspiring other prisons across the galaxy to consider similar reforms. In the end, the alien who had threatened a Deathworlder in a galactic jail not only regretted his decision but also thanked his stars for the lesson it brought him. The encounter didn't just change two lives, it transformed an entire segment of galactic society, proving that even the darkest corners of the universe could be enlightened by understanding and courage. As Jack's influence grew within the Void, he initiated several rehabilitation programs that aimed at transforming the prison from a place of punishment into one of reform. Drawing from Earth's progressive correctional systems, he introduced vocational training sessions, psychological counseling, and interspecies communication workshops. These programs were initially met with skepticism, but as inmates began to see real improvements in their lives and prospects after incarceration, participation soared. Krell, witnessing the positive changes and feeling the shifts within himself from his interactions with Jack, began to take a more active role in these programs. He shared his own experiences, speaking candidly about the regrets and mistakes of his past. His powerful testimonies, combined with his fearsome reputation, lent a unique credibility to the initiatives, encouraging even the most hardened criminals to consider the possibilities of change. Meanwhile, news of the unusual partnership between a Deathworlder and a notorious Zarquil spread beyond the confines of the Void. The Galactic Confederation, intrigued and somewhat concerned about the developments within what had once been a black mark on their justice system, sent representatives representatives to observe and report on the changes. What they found was a facility transforming into a beacon of hope and a testament to the potential for redemption. Inspired by the success of Jack and Krell's efforts, other penal institutions began to adopt similar rehabilitation programs. A ripple effect was seen across the galaxy as prisons became centers of learning and personal growth, rather than mere holding cells for the condemned. This shift not only helped to decrease repeat offenses, but also improved relations between the Confederation and the outer colonies, where mistrust of central authority had been rampant. Back in the Void, the annual War Games, once a brutal competition used to establish the pecking order among inmates, were transformed under Jack's guidance. They were now structured as team-building exercises that included both physical and mental challenges, promoting teamwork and leadership skills rather than mere survival of the fittest. Krell led his team to victory in the first revamped games, symbolizing his own personal transformation from a violent offender to a leader in rehabilitation. The changes within the Void reached a critical point when a delegation of diplomats from various planets visited to review the progress. Impressed by the reports and first-hand accounts of the improvements, they proposed a galactic rehabilitation initiative inspired by the model Jack and Krell had developed. This initiative aimed to replicate their success on a universal scale, providing resources and support for prisons across the galaxy to implement similar programs. The culmination of Jack and Krell's work came when the Void hosted the first Galactic Reformation Summit, attended by leaders, reformers, and scholars from across the universe. Discussions focused on the integration of rehabilitated individuals into society, the role of empathy in governance, and strategies for preventing crime in diverse communities. Jack and Krell, once unlikely allies, now stood before the assembly as the celebrated architects of a movement that had sparked a profound reevaluation of justice and rehabilitation in the galaxy. Their journey from adversaries to reformers was not without challenges, but the enduring partnership between the human and the alien had become a testament to the power of understanding and cooperation. The Void had evolved from a place of despair to a symbol of new beginnings, and the galaxy watched and learned, forever changed by the story of a Deathworlder who turned an enemy into an ally and a prison into a place of promise. As the rehabilitation model pioneered by Jack and Krell proved successful, it began to influence other sectors of galactic society. Schools, workplaces, and even governmental bodies took note of the methods used in the Void, adapting them to address conflicts and promote cooperation within their own contexts. This broad application of their principles helped to cultivate a culture of empathy and understanding that permeated various levels of interaction among different species. The impact of these changes was particularly profound in sectors where tension and conflict had been the norm. For example, mining colonies on the fringe of the galaxy, where exploitation and violence had once been widespread, now experienced a renaissance of sorts. Guided by the principles of the Galactic Rehabilitation Initiative, these colonies implemented conflict resolution strategies and worker empowerment programs that led to unprecedented levels of productivity and harmony. Meanwhile, Jack and Krell continued to evolve in their roles as leaders and reformers. Jack, with his background in military strategy and peacekeeping, was often invited to mediate in planetary disputes, becoming a well-respected figure in diplomatic circles. Krell, drawing from his own experiences and the changes he had undergone, wrote a series of articles and books that were widely disseminated, offering insights into the psychology of violence and the transformative power of redemption. Their personal stories, filled with trials, failures, and successes, resonated with many across the galaxy, serving as powerful narratives in the fight against prejudice and fear. The story of their unlikely friendship and collaboration became a popular subject in media, portrayed in films, plays, and documentaries that highlighted their achievements and the profound lessons they had learned. The legacy of their work was perhaps most evident during the annual celebration of Unity, a festival held on various planets that had embraced the rehabilitation model. This event showcased arts, culture, and innovations from across the galaxy, with a special focus on projects that had successfully integrated former prisoners into society. The Void itself hosted a large segment of the festival, transforming from a place of confinement to a vibrant hub of cultural exchange. The influence of their reforms reached even the highest levels of the Galactic Confederation. The Supreme Council, once skeptical of the potential for real change within the penal system, now endorsed the initiative as a cornerstone of galactic peace and security. New legislation was passed that mandated the integration of rehabilitation and cultural understanding into all levels of education and governance. As they aged, Jack and Krell began to consider their legacies. They established the Galactic Peace Foundation, an organization dedicated to continuing their work long after they were gone. The foundation focused on funding and supporting projects that advanced intercultural understanding and promoted peace throughout the galaxy. Their final project together was the creation of the Museum of galactic harmony on Earth, a planet that had once been viewed with wariness due to its Deathworld status. The museum was a testament to their journey and the journeys of countless others who had been touched by their work. It featured exhibits on the history of galactic integration, the evolution of the penal system, and the personal stories of those who had been part of the Void's transformation. Jack and Krell's enduring friendship and their joint efforts had not only reshaped a notorious prison, but had also sparked a movement that changed the very fabric of the galaxy. They had shown that with courage, compassion, and the willingness to understand the other, even the most entrenched systems and deep-seated prejudices could be overcome. Their legacies lived on, woven into the narrative of the galaxy itself, a narrative that continued to inspire and instruct long after they had passed. Their lives had been a demonstration of the power of unity and the profound impact of turning adversaries into allies. As the galaxy continued to evolve, the principles they championed remained at the heart of its journey towards a more just and peaceful existence. As centuries passed, the legacy of Jack and Krell's transformative work continued to resonate throughout the galaxy. Their approach to conflict resolution and rehabilitation had not only altered the landscape of criminal justice, but had also influenced diplomatic relations on a grand scale. The principles they championed, empathy, understanding, and cooperation, became foundational in the education systems and governance models of many advanced civilizations. Their story was adapted into various forms of media, including a multi-part epic space opera that depicted not only their struggles and triumphs, but also the broader context of their impact on galactic peace. This series was critically acclaimed for its deep storytelling and its thoughtful examination of the themes that Jack and Krell had embodied throughout their lives. Moreover, their approach to peace and reconciliation was studied by academics and practiced by peacekeepers throughout the galaxy. The Jack and Krell method, as it came to be known, was a standard part of training for diplomats and conflict mediators. It emphasized the importance of personal courage, ethical leadership, and the transformative potential of forgiveness and mutual respect. Annual symposiums were held to discuss and develop these methods further, often culminating in the publication of papers and books that explored new theories in peace studies and conflict resolution inspired by their legacy. These gatherings were attended by leaders, scholars, and citizens alike, all eager to learn from the past and to apply these lessons to contemporary issues. On the planet of New Terra, a world that had once been torn by interspecies conflict, a monument was erected in honor of Jack and Krell. This monument was not just a tribute to their personal sacrifice and dedication, but also a symbol of the planet's rebirth as a thriving, diverse community. New Terra had become a model of integration and cooperation, often cited as proof of the efficacy of their ideals in practical application. The Jack and Krell Peace Foundation, which had grown to include branches on hundreds of worlds, continued to fund and support initiatives that promoted their vision. One of the foundation's most significant projects was the Intergalactic Peace Network, a communications platform that allowed for instant dialogue and negotiation across vast distances, helping to prevent misunderstandings and conflicts before they could escalate. In the educational realm, the story of Jack and Krell was included in history and social studies curricula across many planets. Students learned about their journey as part of a broader lesson on the power of individuals to effect positive change in the world. Interactive simulations and role-playing exercises based on their experiences allowed students to explore the concepts of negotiation, empathy, and resilience in a hands-on manner. As the millennium anniversary of their first reform initiatives approached, the Galactic Confederation declared a year-long celebration in honor of Jack and Krell's contributions to galactic peace. This celebration included a series of events, exhibitions, and public engagements that highlighted not only their achievements but also the ongoing work being done in the spirit of their legacy. The year culminated in the unveiling of the galaxy's garden on the capital planet of the Confederation, a massive biodome that housed flora and fauna from thousands of worlds, symbolizing the diversity and interconnectivity that Jack and Krell had fought so hard to promote. The garden was designed to be a place of reflection and learning, equipped with educational programs that taught visitors about ecological balance, cultural diversity, and the importance of maintaining peace across differences. Their story, once a beacon of hope in the dark confines of a galactic prison, had become a guiding light for the entire galaxy, a reminder that even the most unlikely individuals could change the course of history. As new challenges arose and the galaxy continued to evolve, the principles they had laid down, rooted in respect, understanding, and cooperation, remained more relevant than ever, continuing to inspire those who sought to make the universe a better place. The transformation that began in the void soon sparked a cultural revolution across the galaxy. As Jack and Krell's story spread, it ignited a galactic dialogue about justice, rehabilitation, and the potential for reconciliation between different species. This dialogue led to the establishment of the Intergalactic Council on Rehabilitation and Integration, a body dedicated to implementing and overseeing the principles that Jack and Krell had championed. Under this council's guidance, penal systems throughout the galaxy underwent significant reforms. Prisons that had once been mere holding facilities for the condemned were transformed into centers of education and personal development. These institutions began to prioritize the mental health and rehabilitation of inmates, integrating advanced psychological therapies, skills training programs, and cross-cultural studies into their daily routines. Moreover, Jack and Krell's approach to handling conflicts and fostering understanding became a model for conflict resolution even outside the penal context. Schools, corporations, and governments adopted similar methodologies to address disputes and tensions within their own spheres. The principles of empathy, understanding, and respect that Jack and Krell practiced were taught as fundamental skills to young beings from all walks of life, helping to cultivate a more peaceful and cooperative galaxy. Their influence also extended to the economic sphere. The technologies developed to aid in rehabilitation and interspecies communication opened up new markets and created jobs across various sectors. Innovations such as the empathy translator, which had been crucial in overcoming communication barriers in the void, became widely used tools that facilitated trade and diplomacy between different planetary systems. As the years passed, Jack and Krell continued to be active in promoting their vision. They traveled extensively, speaking at conferences, participating in diplomatic missions, and supporting grassroots initiatives that sought to implement the principles of the Galactic Rehabilitation Initiative locally. Their commitment to these causes only deepened as they saw the tangible benefits of their work. Their efforts were formally recognized when the Galactic Peace Prize was awarded to them. The ceremony, broadcasted live across the galaxy, celebrated their lifelong dedication to transforming how societies dealt with crime, conflict, and differences. During their acceptance speech, Jack and Krell spoke not of their past achievements but of the future challenges and the continued need for vigilance in promoting peace and understanding. In their later years, they founded the Jack and Krell Institute for Galactic Peace, a think tank and training facility that aimed to continue their work long into the future. The institute became a leading center for the study of peace, justice, and intercultural relations, drawing students and scholars from across the galaxy who were eager to learn from the vast body of knowledge and experience that Jack and Krell had accumulated. Their personal stories, combined with the global impact of their work, were chronicled in the Galactic Archives, ensuring that future generations would remember and learn from their extraordinary journey. The archives included detailed accounts of their reform initiatives, recordings of their speeches, and interactive exhibits that allowed visitors to explore the various aspects of their work and its effects on galactic society. As the galaxy looked back on the legacy of Jack and Krell, it was clear that their impact went beyond the walls of the void or the confines of any single system. They had changed the very fabric of galactic civilization, proving that with determination, compassion, and a willingness to understand that other, profound change was possible. Their legacy continued to inspire, a beacon for all who believed in the power of redemption and the transformative potential of unity. The decades following the establishment of the Intergalactic Council on Rehabilitation and Integration saw profound changes in the societal structures of many planets. The principles that Jack and Krell had introduced became embedded in the cultural fabric of countless civilizations, fostering a new era of peace and cooperation across the galaxy. Their methods of conflict resolution and rehabilitation were particularly impactful in regions that had long been torn by interplanetary disputes. These areas experienced a significant reduction in conflict as the new approaches promoted understanding over aggression. The success of these peace initiatives often traced back to the model that Jack and Krell had pioneered, serving as a testament to their enduring influence. Additionally, the educational systems across various worlds integrated the life stories of Jack and Krell into their curricula as examples of moral courage and the power of redemption. Children grew up learning about their adventures and the lessons they imparted, ensuring that the legacy of these two remarkable individuals would inspire future generations. On the anniversary of their first reformative actions within the void, a galaxy-wide celebration was held. This event, known as the Day of Unity, involved various activities that highlighted the successes achieved through empathy and collaboration. Speeches, interactive workshops, and community service projects were organized, each reflecting the core values that Jack and Krell had championed. In the arts, their influence sparked a renaissance of sorts, with numerous works, from holofilms to virtual reality experiences, based on their life and work. These artistic endeavors not only entertained, but also educated audiences about the historical significance of their contributions to galactic peace. Their legacy was also cemented through the creation of the Krell and Jack Peace Awards, given annually to individuals or groups who had made significant contributions to the promotion of peace and understanding between different species. These awards were highly coveted and helped to keep the spotlight on ongoing peace efforts throughout the galaxy. At the Void, now transformed into a model rehabilitation facility, a statue of Jack and Krell stood at the entrance, symbolizing the potential for change even in the most unlikely individuals and places. The facility continued to be a living example of their work, with former inmates often returning to share their success stories and contribute to the ongoing mission of the institution. The memoirs of Jack and Krell, detailing their journey from the depths of a galactic prison to the heights of interstellar diplomacy, became required reading in academic institutions. These memoirs were not just historical documents. They were guides on how to approach life's challenges with integrity and hope. As the galaxy moved forward, the principles they had lived by, respect, understanding, and cooperation, remained as guiding lights. Their story continued to be a beacon across the stars, reminding all of the power of two individuals to change the galaxy for the better. Their legacy lived on, not just in the tangible changes they had made to the galaxy's political and social landscapes, but also in the hearts and minds of those they had touched. Jack and Krell had shown that even in the darkest spaces, light could be found and nurtured, and that light could eventually illuminate an entire galaxy. As the echoes of Jack and Krell's influence reverberated through the centuries, their legacy was not merely preserved in monuments or annals of history, but lived on in the everyday practices of peace and diplomacy across the galaxy. Their methodologies in conflict resolution and cultural integration had become embedded in the societal norms of countless worlds, ensuring that their message of unity and cooperation endured. Educational institutions dedicated to peace studies and intercultural communication proliferated, many bearing their names. These institutions were centers of excellence that attracted students and scholars from across the galaxy, eager to learn the principles that had once transformed a notorious prison into a beacon of hope. The Jack and Krell curriculum, a standard part of galactic education, combined rigorous academic training with real-world applications, enabling graduates to become effective peacemakers in their own right. The annual Galactic Unity Festival, initiated in their honor, became a major event that celebrated the diversity of the galaxy's cultures and species. The festival was not just an occasion for festivities, but also served as a forum for dialogue on emerging interstellar issues, reinforcing the importance of maintaining the peace and cooperation that Jack and Krell had so ardently fought for. In the realm of art and culture, their story inspired countless works, from literature and cinema to virtual reality experiences and interactive dramas. These artistic interpretations kept their story relevant and accessible to new generations, illustrating the timeless nature of their struggle and triumph. Each adaptation provided fresh insights into their characters and the universal themes of their journey, underscoring the ongoing relevance of their legacy. Moreover, the Jack and Krell Peace Accord, originally drafted as a set of guidelines for rehabilitation and peacebuilding, had evolved into a foundational document for interstellar law. Its principles were regularly reviewed and updated to address the changing dynamics of the galaxy, ensuring that it remained a living document reflective of the current ethos of galactic society. Philanthropic efforts in their names continued to support vulnerable populations across the galaxy, funding initiatives that ranged from disaster relief to educational programs. The Jack and Krell Foundation, supported by a coalition of planets, remained a powerful force for good, embodying their commitment to service and humanitarian aid. As the galaxy faced new challenges and conflicts, the lessons from Jack and Krell's lives provided a blueprint for resolution and reconciliation. Their story was a reminder that courage, empathy, and a willingness to understand that other could overcome even the most daunting obstacles. Ultimately, the legacy of Jack and Krell transcended their original acts within the confines of the Void. They had become symbols of the potential for transformation and the power of individual action to catalyze widespread change. Their lives continued to inspire peace builders and leaders across the galaxy to strive for a society where understanding and cooperation were the pillars upon which a prosperous and peaceful future was built. Their journey from the darkest depths of a galactic prison to the luminous halls of galactic diplomacy remained a testament to the enduring power of hope and the transformative impact of dedicated individuals. In a galaxy rich with diversity and complexity, the story of Jack and Krell stood as an enduring beacon, guiding the way toward a more harmonious existence among the stars. As the stars continue to wheel across the cosmos, the story of Jack and Krell remains a source of inspiration and a guiding light for future generations. Their names are whispered wherever justice and harmony are sought, serving as a profound reminder that the strength of the spirit and the power of cooperation can transcend the darkest origins and the deepest divides. Their legacy is not just remembered, it is lived by those who continue to walk the path they paved towards a more just and unified galaxy.